Hello and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to cover another important topic of CPA regulation exam, which is QBI. QBI was introduced in 2017 and provides 20% deduction of qualifying business income. So, considering the intensity of this topic QBI, I'll be covering this into two parts. Part one is today, and part two will be uploaded soon. So, in this video, I'm going to cover QBI where income is below QBI deduction for income criteria below 163,000 and income criteria above 213,000. So please make sure to watch this video till the end, and let me know how if you have any questions. I'll be happy to cover those, and let's without wasting your time, let's dive into it. Hello guys, let's get started with QBI. As I said, so what is QBI? So if you uh, remember that Tax Cuts and Jobs Act 2017 enacted Section 199A, which provides deduction up to 20% of qualifying business income for eligible flow-through entities. So this is the definition of 199A. It was introduced in 2017. So let's get started to how you can calculate deduction for 199A. So for the purpose of calculating deduction, and then to make it easier, I have like divided in the steps in criterias, so which you will able to find useful to remember how to calculate QBI deduction. So let's see. Get started. So the first criteria is your income. What is your total income? Your QBI deduction depends on your total income. You will see that in the next slide. So and the criteria number two is whether you are QTB or SSTB. So what is QTB and SSTB? So QTB is which is businesses other than SSTB. So you need to know what is SSTB. SSTB is, in a very simple language, is all professionals excluding in engineering and architectural services. So SSTB is basically all professionals excluding those two categories. And the third criteria which limits your QBI deduction is your W-2 wages and property limitation. Once you have calculated all this, the overall limitation applies for of 20% for 20% of your total income. So let's see in our next slide what we how to calculate this. As you see in the table, the criteria depends on your income. Like your QBI deduction depends on your income. So as you see in my criteria earlier, step one is your to know where you fall in the under the income criteria, like which income criteria you fall under in this table. And then the second step is whether you are QTB or you are SSTB, because once you know that, your deduction will depend on whether you are in which of the category of business you are. Okay, and the third criteria is your limitation of W-2 wages and property. So if you are in between in these last two categories of income, then your step three will be applicable, where you have to limit your deduction considering W-2 wages of your businesses or business, and property of your business or businesses. So now what are those limitations? If those are applied, that would be greater of 50% of W-2 wages for business, or 25% of W-2 wages for business plus 2.5% of all qualified property. So in this, and you would think that when this will be applicable, that this limitation. So if you see here in this table, when your income is between 163,300 and 213,300, then this limitation will apply. And when you are also above 213,300 and 426,600 in merit filing jointly, then this limitation will only apply in QTB, because there is no deduction for SSTB. So in you will see that the deduction for income below 163,300 is 20% for both, and there are limitations when your income is between these two numbers, and there is no deduction for SSTB if your income is above 213,300, but there is full limitation for W2 and property if your income is above 213,300 and you are QTB. And once you have calculated this QBI deduction based on this table and the criteria below, then the deduction will be limited to overall limitation of which will be calculated A, which will be lower of A, combined QBI deduction from all businesses, which you will calculate here, and B, 20% of your total income. And this is on top of this limit, this table. So you will compare, once you have calculated this number, you will compare with 20% of your total income. So let's see a few examples. So I will be covering examples for this category and this category in this video, and in another video I'll be covering example for this category, which is the most complex one in QBI deduction calculation. So whenever you see an question, you would always want to see that, okay, whether you are QTB and what is your income criteria and what is the status. And if you see here, this is the single taxpayer, and we have QTB, and total income is 163,300. Let's read the fact. Taxable income is before QBI deduction is 50,000, net capital gain is 5,000, and QBI deduction is 40,000. Calculate 199A QBI deduction. So your tentative QBI deduction in this case would be 40,000, which is your QBI income. 20% of 40,000, which is 8,000. As you see, this 163,300 is the income. W2 wage and property limitation will not apply. As you remember from the previous slide and the table, this is in the first category. And where you won't have W2 and wage and property limitation. But you will have the overall limitation, which is out of that table and the box, which is 20% of your 50,000, your taxable income reduced by net capital gain. So 9,000 is your overall limitation. Your QBI deduction is 8,000. So you are well within the limit of overall limit. So your deduction will be 8,000 for this in this case. Moving on to second. Yeah, just to give you more focus on this, these arrows will point you where you have to see. And now moving on to another example here. Similarly, you will see you have QTB, your income is above 213,300, and taxpayer is single. Now let's follow this question. And if you see here, the taxable income before QBI is 220,000, and your net capital gain is 0, and QBI is 100,000, and taxpayer share of W2 wages is 30,000, property is 80,000. Calculate QBI deduction. So as you remember, this is in the last category where income is more than 213,300, which is here 220,000. So your full W2 wage limitation will apply. So we will calculate W2 wage limitation here. So first, tentative QBI deduction is 20% of 100,000, which is 20,000. And then you will calculate wage and property limitation, which is greater of 30,000, 50% of 30,000, or 25% of 30,000 plus 2.5% of 80,000, which is 9,500. So greater of those two numbers is 15,000. And your overall limit is so now if you see that your QBI for this for this business is 15,000, because lower of these two number is 15,000, and then you will test that against the overall limit of 20,000, which is 44,000. So you are well within the limit. So for QBI deduction in this case is 15,000. So as I said, I have covered both the categories in the table, which is below and above, and in separate video I will cover question examples for like the category between 163 and 213. So if you like this video, please give the thumbs up, and for now, thank you. Hello guys, I hope you liked my video on QBI, and I'll be uploading a part 2 soon. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to bring you more videos like this, and bringing you more clarity on very important topics like this. Signing off for now. Thank you.